Section 7.4 is going to teach us how to convert between different units. Okay, so this is useful for two reasons. In the US system, the conversions are not all base 10, so we have to do more than just move the decimal point like we did in the metric system. And then we also want to be able to convert between US system and metric system. So this is going to be something that's super useful for us. So you can see example 1 is mine. We're going to convert 4 gallons and we're going to see how many quarts. Now, I know when some teachers teach this, they have things like if you go for, there's some rhyme, I don't even know it. If you go from larger to smaller, you do something, and smaller to larger. I don't like rhymes because I forget them. So I'm just going to show you the math way. So you don't have to remember if you're multiplying when you do smaller or dividing when you do smaller. You don't have to remember any of that if you remember this unit conversion technique. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to write down my 4 gallons. I'm going to abbreviate to save myself a little room. Okay, 4 gallons. Then I'm going to multiply this 4 gallons by my unit conversion. Now, I'm going to give you on the test, I'm going to give you all these conversions. You can see them on the page. They're right here when you do your homework. In my math lab, you'll be given them. I don't expect you to memorize these tables, but I do expect you to be good at using this table. Okay, so on this table up at the top, is there a conversion between gallons and quarts? Yes, 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So I'm going to now multiply by the unit fraction. This is where the problem will determine for you whether you're going to multiply or divide. Since I want to get rid of the gallons, okay, I don't want those to be my units at the end. I want the units to be quarts at the end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 1 gallon in the bottom and the 4 quarts in the top. From the table, it said 1 gallon is 4 quarts. That's where I got that unit conversion. And I put the gallons in the bottom intentionally because now gallons will cancel. I've got a gallons in the top. I got a gallons in the bottom. I cancel them. They're not around anymore. So then this answers the question definitively without me having to remember any sort of tricks or gimmicks. I am now going to multiply the numbers because they're both in the numerator. So I've got 4 times 4. That means I have 16 quarts. And I'm done with the problem. That's unit conversions. Okay, it's a super useful skill. If you take any science class, if you take chemistry, if you take physical science, you will have to convert between different units of measure, guaranteed. Happens all the time. Okay, so what I would like you to do, make your best attempt to convert 936 feet to yards. Even if you can do it mentally, practice doing the unit conversion. The reason I'm asking some familiar ones is later when I ask us to convert feet to centimeters, I'm sure you don't know the right off the top of the head conversion. We'll be able to do the process. So I start off here with 936 feet. I'm going to multiply by my unit ratio right here. So according to the table, what is the relationship between feet and yards? Yeah, and you probably knew that one, but if you didn't, it's right there on the table. 1 yard is 3 feet. Okay, so where am I going to put the feet in my fraction and where am I going to put the yards? I'm sorry, what'd you say? Yes, feet on the bottom. Why did you tell me to put the 3 feet on the bottom? Well said. That way it cancels out. That's how you know. I don't want these feet anymore on the 936. My goal is to get rid of the feet. So that's why I put the feet in the bottom so that they cancel out now. And now, what does the problem tell me I do with the 936 and the 3? Do I multiply or do I divide? You divide. Perfect. You don't have to memorize any tricks. It's right there in front of you. So when I do that, I think it's 312 yards. If you got a question about this, let me know. We're going to work down through the first 4 examples. We'll do these straightforward direct conversions. When we come back next time, starting with example 2, we have 2-step conversions when you don't know the direct relationship between 2 things, but you can get there. So we're just going to do a couple more, and then you'll be done with me for the day. Do exercise 2, please. All right, so this one starts off with 620 hours. If you needed the chart, 24 hours in a day, but we probably all knew that one. So where am I going to put the 24 hours? Where am I going to put the 1 day? Perfect. Well said. The 24 hours in the bottom, the 1 day in the top, and I put the hours in the bottom to cancel out with the hours with the 620. So again, that tells me to divide. And so when I pop that into my calculator, which you've probably already done, that turns out to be 25.83 repeating. So we will just make it 25.8 days. Any questions? Yeah, what's up? Okay. On this problem, I started with hours, and I want to get rid of the hours. So anything you start with right there, I need to cancel out. So this is in the 620 is in the top because we can write any number over 1, okay, when it's given to us. And so that's why I put the hours here in the bottom, so they will cancel. Okay. Same thing with the feet in this one. So whatever you start with is what you're trying to cancel out. Okay. Give the next one a try. Exercise 3. You can find the conversion between centimeters and inches in the second table. In here it will be, but it doesn't always have to be. You could have a situation where you could say 2.5 of something is equal to 8 of another thing. But you would still do the same thing. You would use the units to tell you where to put what. Yeah, exactly. So if you had something like it wasn't a reduced fraction, or you couldn't reduce the fraction, then you would. So what the question is let's just pretend that there's a world where it's not just a nice even relationship, that it was 5 days is 24 hours. Then what you would do is you take the 620 times the 5, and then you would divide by the 24. Yes. Yep, exactly. Yep. That's how fractions work. When you multiply fractions, you just do your tops and your bottoms. So I would be multiplying the 620 by whatever was in top up here. But then a fraction, I know we're scared of them, but a fraction bar just means to divide. That's all it is. So that when you have a fraction like 3/8, the reason we leave a fraction like that is because you can't divide the 8 and the 3 evenly. So we leave it reduced. But this fraction bar, that just means to divide. Great question. Appreciate it. All right, so the 900 centimeters is what we start with on this one. My unit fraction says I've got 2.54 centimeters and 1 inch. So where am I going to put the 2.54 centimeters? Okay, the 2.54 centimeters goes in the bottom so that I can cancel out those centimeters. And so this time we're dividing the 900 by 2.54. So I'll round this. So 900 divided by 2.54 is 354.33. So I'll just go that's equal to 354.3 inches. Make sure on My Math Lab, you follow the instructions about rounding. Okay, they will tell you round to the 100th or round to the 10th. And so if you don't do that, you might accidentally get the problem wrong that you really got right. Okay, so just make sure you follow when they tell you round. They usually say to the 100th, which is the second decimal place. Okay. All right, last one for the day. Convert 150 pounds to kilograms. And if you're looking for that, I think it's at the very bottom. It's the pounds to kilograms conversion. So this one, we start out with the 150 pounds. I don't know why the abbreviation for pounds is LBS, so that's something I don't have an explanation for, but it is. And so the conversion down at the bottom is 1 pound is 0.45 kilograms. So I'm going to take the 1 pound, I'm going to put it in the bottom. The 0.45 kilograms, I'm going to put in the top. And so the pounds will cancel. And so then we take the 150 times 0.45, and 150 times 0.45 ends up being 67.5 kilograms. And from there, if you were asked how many grams it was or how many decagrams, you could then do your conversions within the metric system. We will talk about